everyone, I'm Karri Perry and welcome to our tutorial today for wreath making. We are making a vintage kitchen tool wreath, and I want to say thank you to Country Sampler Farmhouse Style magazine for letting me be here with you today to do this really fun and easy piece of farmhouse decor for your kitchen. It would make a great holiday gift, and it's so simple. Really, all of the vintage pieces do the work for us because they're so cute and adorable. So we're going to get started again. I'm Karri Perry, and I'm a blogger at what's called Blue Ribbon Kitchen. It's kind of a long story, but a long time ago I started doing competitive baking, and then I started a blog where I share all of my first place and best of show award-winning recipes. You're welcome to go there and visit and get recipes, also home decor ideas, lots of stuff that I love. I share it on the Blue Ribbon Kitchen blog. So let's get started. Behind me you can see that there's a kitchen wreath. It started about 20 years ago or so. It's probably longer than that. It was more like 25 years ago, maybe 30. My Aunt Cheryl made a wreath for me, and it was covered in vintage kitchen pieces. So it had cute kitchen tools and cookie cutters, and it was just darling. And I had admired hers, and so for Christmas one year, she made me one. So long story is, over the years I reworked it, and this is what it is today. So it's been on a lot of different wreath forms. It originally was on a grapevine, and now it's on like a little green one. But we're going to be making one today on a brand new wreath, and I have it right here. You can take a look. Isn't that so fun with the sparkles and the berries? This was very inexpensive. This came from Joann Fabric. So make sure if you want to get one, you use your coupon so that it's less expensive. But I thought this would be really fun for holidays, just with that little bit of sparkle. And the little red berries go great with the ribbon, which I also purchased. Here we go. This is the ribbon. And that was the same store. And this is the really cute gingham ribbon. It's so country and fun. It's just perfect with the little red berries. I love it. And this was the tag off of the wreath, in case you're looking for one. You can order those online, both the ribbon and the wreath. They're brand new this season. So let's get started. To begin with, you can use any kind of wreath form. So like I said, you can use a grapevine wreath or a green, like just a holiday wreath that doesn't have any decorations, like an evergreen wreath. Any color wreath, it doesn't really matter, just a wreath. And kind of like the larger you make it, the more kitchen tools you're going to need to fill it. So here, what I have in my basket are some kitchen tools, old fun vintage pieces. I was just laughing today because a couple of them have their marks from the thrift store. I didn't even take the prices off. I need to rub them off with a little magic eraser, a little bit of soap and water. But the chippier they are, the more I love them. So there's a can opener, a pastry blender. So we're gonna put these on our wreath. We have some cookie cutters. So if you're watching today and you're new to this craft tutorial, you can say hello and where you're watching from. Again, I'm Karri Perry from Blue Ribbon Kitchen, but I'm here crafting today at Country Sampler Farmhouse Style magazine. So let's get started and make this wreath. So to begin with, I think it's a good idea to take your pieces and kind of lay them like this is kind of a larger piece, in whatever design you think you're going to want, because this will help you, like if you don't want two can openers next to each other, you can kind of space them around. So we have like a potato masher, a different kind of masher. Isn't that fun? And if you have any questions while we're working, feel free to put them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them while we're live. A biscuit cutter with a cute red handle. How sweet is that? Another, like a fluted, this is one of my favorites. Look at that cute biscuit cutter with the fluted edges. A bell. And we have a pastry blender. So I just like to lay the pieces around, and then I kind of use like the biscuit cutters as accent pieces. Put that one there. So you kind of get an idea of like what you're going for as far as if it looks too crowded, if you need more cookie cutters or less. So like I was saying, if you wanted to make a gigantic large wreath, you absolutely could, but you just have to remember you would definitely need more material as far as the vintage kitchen pieces to kind of fill it out. If you are making a small, tinier kitchen wreath, obviously you would need probably more of the small kitchen gadgets, like even a wooden spoon would be great, melon ballers, and smaller cookie cutters would be great. So this can be really customized to make it whatever size you need for whatever space you're trying to fill. So with that then, what I do is I take fine gauge wire. This is what I use that comes from craft stores in different gauges. You want to try to get pretty fine gauge wire if possible, because it's just really pliable and easy to work with. So I like the fine gauge wire. Then you just want to find a spot on your cookie cutter or whatever kitchen gadget you're using, and you'll take your wire and gently twist so that it has a little place to secure it. Different pieces are going to have different places that make sense to secure it. So I'm going to start removing some of our pieces, and then we'll start securing them. So we have a general idea of where we want things to go. Isn't that fun? I'm excited. So I'm going to start here with a cute heart, and then I'm just going to, I have it wired and I twisted it just a couple times, and then I'm going to take just a little sprig, and I'm going to wrap that wire around it. Now, if this was a heavier piece, now that will stay in place. I can also use another piece of wire to secure it. If this was a heavy piece, say we were putting this on, we can put the little hand mixer on. It definitely is going to need a little more wire because we don't want it to fall off. So I'm going to fish this through here. And the wire is so fine gauge that you're really not going to see it when it's in the wreath. Twisting that around, and I'm going to secure it underneath some of the, and then when we fluff it back, we'll never see that. So I'm twisting it around. And you could also, for more security, if you wanted, you could actually secure it to the, look, that one still has its price tag. I'm going to flip that one over. I'm going to put this around its handle here, and we'll twist. And I can even go inside the wreath form here and secure it onto the actual back of the wreath form back here, okay? And also too, it's a good idea when you get started to look and see if there is a wreath holder. Sometimes it comes with one. Here's this one right here. That's great because then you don't have to make one, and then you kind of know where the top of your wreath is going to be. So we'll secure that. Okay, so I'm going to get a little more wire here. Are there any questions out there? This is very fun and very quick to do. Some people have asked, Karri, where do you get your kitchen pieces from? And I would say you can pick them up at antique stores, at flea markets. You might have some already in your kitchen. Some people too still use a lot of these. And the nice part is that if you still are using, say, certain biscuit cutters that you have, you could put it on a wreath, but it doesn't have to be forever. It could just be for show. You can easily take it off of the wreath and keep using it. You haven't done anything to it that makes it a forever display. So you can still have access to it if you needed to.
There are several who like the idea and they think it's cute. And one person shared that it reminds them of baking with their mom.
Oh, that's so fun. And that's, the question or the comments were, someone said that they really thought it was a cute idea, which I appreciate. I think it's so cute too. And again, the credit has to go to my Aunt Cheryl, who originated this way back. I really do think it was like 30 years ago. And another person said that this kind of wreath reminds them of baking with their family, with their mom. It totally reminds me of like holiday baking with a grandma, like baking for cookies for the holidays. It's so sweet. And I honestly, like, if you can see the detail on this handle, like the chippier the better. And for me, if this piece was in my kitchen, I probably wouldn't use it because of the chippy paint. I would have something that was more user-friendly for the washing and everything. But I love the wear on that for our decoration. I think it's so sweet. So it's perfect for a wreath. Well, I might not cook with it on the everyday. I totally think, I mean, it's obviously you could still use it, but I think it's perfect for a holiday wreath. So we're going to put our pastry blender here. Think how many pies, does anybody wonder, I do, how many pies this pastry blender made, how many Thanksgivings this cute little pastry blender was in business. So cute. So I'm going to attach this one to the wreath base behind it. And
could you add cinnamon sticks to the
oh
wreath?
my gosh, yes. Someone said, can you use cinnamon sticks? Could you add some? Of course you could. You can totally make this your own. So even though I'm giving you some ideas and pointers, you could absolutely make this your own. Cinnamon sticks would be such a yummy, like, baking addition. So I'm going to also pull some of these through so it's kind of nestled in there. It's wired in there, but just loosely. Let's get some more. Yes, absolutely. I think cinnamon sticks are a fantastic idea. I have this super cute red gingham, but honestly, during the seasons, like, I keep the wreath up most all year round, the one that's behind me, and I switch out the ribbon. So it might have red, white, and blue ribbon during July and during the summer months. And for Halloween, I have orange and black gingham ribbon that goes on. So you can change it up, and so it can be kind of an evergreen staple in your kitchen, and you just change it seasonally with the ribbon. So super cute. But I love the cinnamon stick idea. That sounds so inviting and good. Let's put on a little red can opener. How cute is that? This one, and the other thing too is, I am very particular. I don't know about all of you, but when I'm buying craft supplies, I love to also shop at the local thrift store. That's like one of my favorite places to go. I think that if you go to like an antique store or something, you might pay top dollar for some of these pieces. And if you're trying to make a few of these for, say, holiday gifts or for somebody that you know loves baking, it's super sweet and super inexpensive if you shop around. So this piece here was 80 cents right here. So that was from the thrift store. So I think that's a great deal for a piece like that. So if you added up, all my pieces might have cost between probably $7 to $10. But if you didn't shop around and you maybe bought them from an antique dealer or somebody who maybe has some higher priced, then your project could get a little more expensive, which is fine. But you just have to know that if you know you're going to make this and you start kind of collecting the pieces when you're out and about, you can just kind of put them away in a basket until you have enough. So it's the kind of thing that's kind of fun. I don't know about you, but I love hunting for certain items at the thrift store or at flea markets or at antique shops. Like if I know I'm in the market for certain ornaments or different things for different projects, it's always fun to have like a little list of what I'm looking for. Does anybody else do that? Have like little to-do lists that they have in their shopping? Let's get this one. I feel like that's not staying on very good. So, do we have any other questions or comments out there? Okay, let's put this one down here. I don't want this one to fall off. It's got a pointy edge on it. Okay. Let's find room for this. Oh, I have two of those. Let's just use one of those. Where do I want to put this? Maybe down here. They can kind of overlap a little. So fun. So I think this is a fun way to use it. Probably a lot of people have kitchen tools that they just have maybe in a basement, in a box or something. Because I think sometimes, you know, we retire these pieces or we inherit pieces that used to belong to grandma or an aunt, and you don't really know what to do with them sometimes if they're not something that is part of your regular kitchen arsenal of things. Okay. Okay, I'm going to move that one to the side. So here we go. There's our biscuit cutter. So I like how they're kind of nestled in there together. Does anybody else like that? We're kind of losing some of our berries, but we'll clean those up. I'm going to get a little more wire. And before we're all done, I'm going to show you how to make a wired bow. I think knowing how to make a wired bow is super great because you can use it all the time for any time you need a wired bow. You'll never have to pay for a fancy bow again if I show you how to do it. So let's do this cute biscuit cutters, and that's so sweet. So again, I just take the wire and I put it in a spot where I think it's not too noticeable and it can hang on. You could do it from a handle or an edge piece. And I'm just kind of twisting it so it's secure. And then I'm going to put it here. And I'm going to wrap the wire snugly around this branch. And like I was saying, if you have heavier pieces, you can definitely secure them with extra wire for sure. Some of these pieces are so cute. Here we go. All right, so let's make our bow. What do you say? So I like to start with probably, I would say a little more than a foot, maybe like, it's a little more than 12 inches worth of wire because we want to have extra so that we can secure it. And again, if you're just joining us, I'm Karri Perry from Blue Ribbon Kitchen Blog, and you're watching a kitchen wreath tutorial. And right here we've made most of the kitchen vintage wreath with old cookie cutters, biscuit cutters, mixers, mashers, can openers, pastry blenders. You can add as little or as many as you like. Like I was saying, wooden spoons would be a great addition. Also, someone mentioned little bundles of cinnamon sticks or even individual cinnamon sticks. You could use those with a hot glue gun, or you could wire those in too. And then we're going to add some ribbon. And again, if you're just joining us and you're curious about resources, this wreath form here came just as it is, green, sparkly with berries, and it was from Joann Fabric along with this ribbon. So, and it's brand new in their winter collection. So if you are interested in the exact same things I'm using, that's where I got it from. So again, we have about 12 inches or so, maybe just a tad more of thin gauge wire. Then to start our bow making, so you want to leave a little for a tail. So we won't use this part. If we started right here, I wouldn't have a cute tail. So I want to have a little tail. So I'm going to start here. So then this part will be our tail. And you just create like a rabbit ear. See here? Like that. And this, I love using wired ribbon. That's a great tip. If you are able to use wired ribbon, that makes your job so much easier. And it helps the bow hold its shape. So then what I do is I take my wire and I work right from the center. And then I twist. Okay, so I have two like legs of the wire going out, and then I have my ribbon. It's connected to the roll still, and I have the tail I left because we want that for decorating purposes. And then I'm going to make another rabbit ear, and I'm just going to bunch it up right next door to the first one. And you want to kind of keep your loops similarly sized, and I'm just taking that wire and I'm bringing it around, and I'm going to have to give it a little twist, okay? And I just repeat that process the whole time. So you want to keep your loops about the same size, because it would look really funny if I had like a great big one and then like a really tiny, scrawny one. It's better if they're kind of similar in size. And then also, I don't know why it is, but usually if you work in threes, that works really well. So if you work in odd numbers, looks best to the eye. So if you're making a bow, you want to probably use about 5 loops for a nice bow. Now, I'm not saying you can never use an even number. You can, but a lot of times the eye just seems to like that amount. And you can also take your wire in between and kind of pull it snug and then give it a little twist. And let out a little more ribbon. And here I'm gonna pinch, and then I'm gonna take my wire and wrap it through. Give a little twist. 1. So we have a little bow of 5 here. Okay, so I'm gonna cut that. Okay, and what I'm left with here is this extra piece of wire. And I'm going to give it a twist. And what that does is it gives me a tail to attach it to the wreath so I can feed it through. So let me double check where the top of the wreath is. It's right here. Okay, and so I'm going to put our bow right here at the very top. If you're at home, you can make this however you like. You could have it a little to the side, at the bottom, however you like. I'm going to wire this in. So I'm so glad everybody's watching today, and I have some really good news to share that on November the 10th, so in a couple of weeks, it won't be long, we will be doing a live Thanksgiving open house from here. We're going to do a couple of food recipe crafts. They're very quick and easy, but amazingly cute. We're going to also see the Thanksgiving table, and I'm going to give you a tour around the house and show you some really cute Thanksgiving ideas. Again, and it's all here on the Country Sampler Farmhouse Style magazine site. So that is going to be really fun. So we can leave those pointy like that. If you wanted to make them different, what you could do, this is my other bow. If you wanted to dovetail them, you can fold your fabric in half so the wire pieces are together. And then I'm cutting just to a point. And then look, what a pretty finish. We'll do it one more time. So over here, you take your ribbon and you fold it in half, and then you're gonna cut up. And depending on how steep you go, that depends on how steep your point will be. You kind of want to do them the same. So this is an extra ribbon I had made, but that roll made a lot of ribbon, a lot of bows. So isn't that so cute? So we have our cute kitchen wreath there. Another fun thing that I like to do sometimes is I'll take different pieces of ribbon and just make little loops and kind of like weave it in and out of the wreath if you feel like you need a little extra pizzazz. But I think this is so sweet and so simple, and really we just only used a few minutes of time, and these super cute kitchen utensils, these old vintage pieces, I think it's so sweet. Just the perfect little something for your farmhouse kitchen. So, are there any questions out there? Any comments? No? Super. Well, it was so great spending time with you today. Remember to mark your calendar for November the 10th for the Thanksgiving open house and home tour. I'm really looking forward to that. And then lastly, if you would like to visit Blue Ribbon Kitchen, you're welcome to. Again, I'm Karri Perry, and I would welcome you to come and find recipes and award-winning dishes over on the Blue Ribbon Kitchen blog. So until next time, I'm Karri Perry. Take care.